right, day one of the John and Esther vacation. Corvette tips on this beautiful red 2025. We take off these somewhat goofy square tips and put on round ones because the round looks so much better, and then after you see it done, you'll believe me as well. So this is what it looks like now.
So at this point, we're almost at London. We've been in the air for 9.5 hours. So we ordered a car through the airline, basically did like a package deal, like a fly drive. Well, this is the car they gave us, and we all had a suitcase each and a carry-on. Keep in mind, we're staying for 2 weeks. Our stuff wouldn't fit in the car. No, it wouldn't even keep 2 cases in there. So back inside, upgrade the car, already spending way more money than I wanted to, and then we have this Peugeot. Anyway, stay tuned. I'm going to make a video all about this because I think there's some funny parts of it and some enlightening parts. So stay tuned for that. Let's get back to the video.
All right, it's Thursday and we have an S2000 in for a starter, clutch. We're installing hoses that the customer supplied. We're installing other parts that the customer has supplied, and of course topping it off with some brand new coolant. Here we have brand new upper hoses. Some of the other parts include a thermostat and an OEM knock sensor. Most, I believe all actually, of the heater hoses. We have some breather and PCV hoses. And apparently, we have gifts. So this is really cool. I think I will leave mine nice and wrapped up until the whole gang is back together. And it looks like we got a Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and mine in the middle, just right. So here is the car. I believe it's around 70,000 miles. It's a very clean example. He did drive it here from South Carolina, so it did get dirty. Other than that, very clean example of an AP1S 2000 in the nice bright silver. So we're gonna get to work and get these hoses replaced. All right, I've been plugging away at this for a little while, taking all the hoses off, and then just trying to match them up with what he has. And I figure if I take them all off, match them up, and then when I go to put them back, so he's got a knock sensor there and a thermostat, that hose that goes over the idle valve, which is there because I had to get that out of the way to get some hoses under the intake manifold. That holds a throttle cable bracket. I tried to point at it from the side I can see. Throttle cable bracket, idle air control valve, that bracket for one of the hoses. Took all that stuff out of the way, made it easier on myself, but getting all of this off means that I can get to the harder hoses easier, like this one here that is under the intake manifold. This goes from the thermostat housing basically up to where the upper radiator hose connects. I believe this is a thermostat bypass, just like in the like a K series that goes from the thermostat to the bottom of the intake manifold, or the B series, the one that starts at the bottom and then loops around like on the B16s. That's what that hose is. Then we have some oil cooler hoses here. This one is your heater hose. Those are the 2 heater hoses there from the driver's side. Another heater hose there. So we've got them all off. Now we'll start putting them back on in reverse order, and then we can put coolant back in it. All right, so we're all back together. We're starting to bleed the coolant out. We're gonna play the sound of the new starter for you because they always sound so good. The clutch feels good. Everything here is good. We're just trying to get all the coolant bled out, and then once that is done, we're ready to call the customer. So we're still just kind of listening to it run, waiting for the cooling fans to come on. The thermostat has opened. The car has heat inside. We have our bucket hooked up. If you're looking for those, I don't think they're coming back to the store, but they did for a while. So that's hooked up there so we can get all the air out of the system. Still the occasional bubble coming out of there. The fan should come on any minute now. And then we can let it cool down and put the radiator cap on.
I'll tell this story more on the next video, like I said, but this was the car we rented. It didn't work out at all. Well, apart from visiting my dad in the hospital and driving an hour and a half each way across the bridge and paying parking and tolls and everything that goes on in England, one of the highlights of our trip was reconnecting with my best friend Steve. This is Steve, aka Edgy. We met in college when I was 17, and we've been friends ever since. However, we live on opposite sides of the world. I don't see him often. Well, he was nice enough to pick us up and take us out on his narrowboat. This is a quick excerpt of it, but very, very cool. Really a cool, eye-opening experience, and the fact that he shared it with us and let Sebastian drive the boat and operate the bridge. It was just such a nice thing. Steve, thank you so much. You have no idea how cool this day was and how much it really brought us joy after all that we've been going through on this trip. Anyway, let's get back to the car video.
All right, well, finally a car in. It's Thursday, about 4 o'clock. This car is getting a new convertible top. This one is in extremely bad shape. It's very dry. It's falling apart. It is a Honda top, but this is a original plastic window car, and it has like the wiring stuck on it. So I think this was just a used top that someone put on it a long time ago. It's also getting a cluster lens. I've got my tools and rig. I start dropping the column out. I kind of forgot about videotape and stuff because I haven't had anything to do the last couple days, so it's been rough. Got the cluster glass going in. There's some lights that are out. Convertible top replacement. And we'll get started on this one. So, quick backstory. There was one car that was supposed to show up, AP1, for retainers, keepers, jet bolts. You know, the normal AP1 stuff. And the car died on the highway on the way down here. It was coming from up north somewhere, I believe North Carolina. And the car died in Georgia. So a Honda dealership said it was the ECU, which was an AEM V1. The car is now getting an AEM V2 and a tune by a shop in Georgia because it did not run anymore. And then today, this morning, Thursday, a guy came in for brakes. And he says, "How are my brakes?" He said they were squeaking a little bit. And I looked at them. The pads had plenty of life. The rotors had no step. And I said, "It appears to be if your brakes are actually in pretty good shape." He said, "Well, if that's the case, I don't want to replace them." So now we were just waiting for this guy to show up, and we're going to start cutting this top off. But I'm going to start with the cluster because we got to take the column down to get all that plastic out of there. So I want to do that first. Plus it's 4 o'clock to get me to the end of the day. I'll probably still be doing it in the morning, but we're going to get started on that. And then we're going to knife this thing off. I haven't been filming the store either, but it's been going good. Business at least 10 orders a day. Yesterday was 17, I believe. Got a bunch in there today. But yeah, we're getting going. I got some stuff to take out of the packages too to get back in the store. Some stuff come in today, and we'll get inventory back up. I don't think anything's out of stock, but we're gonna get it back up. All right, so the cluster is out. You can see it's pretty scratched up and a little dirty there. We've got a brand new cluster face, the lens here. We got some brand new buttons. These are from S2000cluster.com. Never heard of them, but if it's fantastic, I'll let you know once I get this thing opened and taken apart. Like I said, if it's great and amazing, I'll tell you to go check them out. If it's not, then I don't know. I guess I just won't talk about it anymore. So let's get this taken apart so we can get that face changed out. All right, it's not lit up yet, but that does certainly look a lot better. I mean, it looks brand new. Quite a bit better than that one. So we'll get this back in. We have a basically a bag of OEM bulbs here. We're gonna go over everything that we can get in and get it finished up. All right, so all the bulbs were actually labeled. They were not for the cluster, they're for AC control and the start button and stuff like that. So I've got this on the table and I'm getting this apart. I've got all the old bulbs out and we're gonna put all the new bulbs in. All right, so I've got the majority of the top off. I still need to get this panel out and get the rain rail out, but I just wanted to show you, like, that is top material. That's the fabric. It's falling apart. So this definitely needed a top. I believe from what I can gather here, this car is an early 01. And this top and top frame is a newer top frame. It's a 2002 and up frame. It has the straps, it has the springs. It doesn't have the extra thing on here. So this is definitely a newer top frame and a newer top because it had the defroster on the window. But this plug and the wire was just stuck down in that hole. And then also these straps, you can see they've been run over by the gears in the top frame before because these also were not bolted in. So I don't know what happened here, but this was bolted on incorrectly a long time ago. So we're gonna get a new one on here and make everything better. Car's outside waiting for pickup. Top looks fantastic. It was in the sun for a while, but the sun has gone away. Alright, so I have been bad about filming today. I have not filmed anything. I had 28 orders in the store. I answered some emails. I had a lady drop by, ask me some questions about her car. And I talked to this guy here for a while. This is a CRZ with the complete and entire Mugen kit, the spoiler, side skirts, the wheels. It's got the HFP supercharger. This is a really nice car. It's been here before. We did the gauges on it. I know there's a video out there where we did those. Today it's just a bunch of small stuff, really. There's a bolt loose there. I changed the fluid for the Rotrex. I did that already. He has red seat belts from the Seatbelt Planet. I just finished putting those in. So that's done. We got to bleed the brakes, bleed the clutch, flush the transmission fluid, change the oil, and flush the cooling system. So once we get all that done, it'll be ready to go. But it is the end of the day on Monday. I didn't film anything except for right now, so I hope you enjoy this. I can't show you the store because the mailman has picked it up. Today was supposed to be the hottest day in Florida, and it only peaked 99 in here. The heat index was supposed to be 122. I don't know, didn't seem to be that bad. So hopefully I'll film a little more tomorrow, and we'll catch you back up then. We're doing the valve cover on this Type R. It's got a leak on it. And just in case, we're just going to do the whole valve cover. We've heard of issues of these maybe being torqued a little off, being loose, having some kind of issue with an oil leak. So we're going to just put a whole new one on and hope that it all goes away. So there's the old one. The new one is here on the table. And I'm going to get that installed. Once I get this off, I'll film what the inside looks like because we don't get to see that often because these are still pretty new. This is a, I believe a 24, might be a 25. It's got the optional wheels on it, spoiler painted white mirror caps. This is a really nice car. If you look down in here, on top of the block there's oil there, and there. You go on the front side of the valve cover, and there's seepage all around the front edge too. So, I'm not sure what the problem with these is, but if I even said that correctly, I don't know. So I got all the bolts loose. We're about to pull this off. And so here is the Type R valve cover. You can see around the edges here where it's dirty because it's been leaking. It's gathered up a bunch of oil and road dirt and whatnot. I don't see anything in particular that stands out that says, oh, I'm leaking because of this. So I'm not 100% sure why they do it. If you know, let me know in the comments why they leak. This one clearly leaked almost all the way around, but I cannot see exactly where or why. So that's this side of it, and then we'll come over here. And this is what it looks like in here. We have VTEC on the exhaust side. Got adjustable cam phasing on both cams. Very clean inside. Obviously it's practically brand new, so we're gonna do an oil change as well on this one after I get this valve cover back on. But all right, this is the first time looking at one of these and doing these. This is the factory Type R steering wheel. Hopefully all this is going to be in frame because I can't see that side of it. But you know, if we have the factory wheel out, that means there's another one in here that's going to go in the car. So this is the optional factory suede steering wheel. It comes with a new bolt with Loctite on it. It comes with a note telling you how to care for it. Like I said, hopefully this is in frame. Alcantara Care. This guy is a professional detailer, so I'd assume, although sometimes you know what happens when you assume, but I would like to assume he knows how to take care of Alcantara. So we're gonna get rid of that box. We've got this wheel here we've got to transfer all of our stuff over to. Now that there is very fancy. So I'm going to see if we can start getting all the plastic off of this OEM wheel, and then we're going to start putting it on this one here. That's going to go back in the protective cover there. So I'm going to turn that off and start getting this apart. Alright, so this is what you end up with, the factory wheel all torn down. Got your buttons, the bottom spoke. It's actually not connected, it's only a 2-spoke wheel technically. And then the whole back here with the wiring in it. So now we'll go ahead and get this wheel off to the side. We'll get the Alcantara wheel up here and reverse order. And that there is the Alcantara steering wheel all put back together. I didn't show the whole process on this, it kind of just snaps apart. So all the little plastics here, they just kind of line up and snap in. It's not all that complicated. A little bit nerve-wracking because of course you don't want to break any of it, but there it is, ready to go back in the car. Once it's bolted down, I'll show it to you again. There it is, Alcantara red stitch. This is a Honda OEM accessory wheel. Everything about it fits absolutely perfectly. Comes with a little note about Alcantara Care there. So hopefully he'll read that. I don't think he needs it, but there it is.
So I'll give you an idea of where my dad lives. He lives in Goole, which is on the east coast in the middle of the country on the edge of the Humber. Well, our flight went out of London, so second to last day we left early, stayed in a scary Airbnb. First night in London.
I'm not happy. Let's get on the plane with it.
Yeah, I was asking if there's any way we could bring the flight forward to like now. So this is the gate right here. Big heavy duty gate. Ooh, what's the step? There's a step right there. At least that's not loud.
Watch out for the AC.
And then this lead, there's another lock gate. So we could do a quick tour of London. This is like the open bus tour that takes you around, tells you about what all the really old buildings are and what goes on. And then we did a ride on the Thames, and same thing, tells you the same. A little bit of history about the city. Tell you more about this on another video. I'm going to make a dedicated video to this trip just for you guys that might be interested in going. Also to let you know what the whole trip was about and what went on.
So if you don't see my social media, my Uncle Ray Civic K24 swap started leaking oil. And I was pretty intrigued when I saw this myself. I changed the O-rings on the top of the VTEC solenoid so it looked like it was the top of the VTEC solenoid. Well, come to find out, I'll take this here, and put it there. And look here, a little bit of air pressure, and look at that. Who's ever seen that before? It leaks right through. So all of a sudden the leak got pretty bad, so I guess it found a spot in there that really opened up, but I haven't seen this one yet. So got it all fixed up now. Hopefully we can clean it up and it'll stop leaking oil.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. George, thank you so much for running the store and the shop and everything else that went along. We deliberately tried to keep things light. We wanted to keep work coming in so we could all get paid and make the bills, but we didn't want to overload George with stuff. Last thing I wanted to do is be in England dealing with all this stuff and then think, oh my God, George is like stressed trying to get all this stuff done. So we had a plan, at least. We tried to make it work. I'll tell you more about this whole trip. There was some good and some bad. It was basically a trip I didn't want to take. And it was an emotional trip in so many ways. We tried to make it the best as we could because, of course, it was a family vacation that was planned a year ago. And I wanted to make it somewhat exciting for the kids. So it was partly dealing with my dad and partly trying to make it exciting for the kids because it's their summer. Their whole summer was looking forward to this trip. I didn't look forward to it, but that's on another story. Thanks for watching. Click down here. We'll have the subscription button down there, and we'll see you in the next video. And I always say this, and I really mean it. Enjoy your cars.
Oh, oui, oui, oui.
It's actually widened.
And this is wide.
This is actually 2 lanes.
This is
Oh, look at
compared to, yes it is.
This is compared to that road back there.
Oh, it's like